Hi folks, I'm Bill Jordan and welcome to Realtree Outdoors Monster Buck 6 video, Volume 1 and Volume 2. You know, last year we had some incredible hunts on our Monster Bucks 5 video, and I can promise you Volume 1 and Volume 2 of our Monster Buck 6 video is absolutely incredible. You know, last year we showed something for the first time. We had t-shirts commemorating the 4 largest deer taken on our Monster Bucks 5 video. This year, backed by popular demand, we have the same t-shirt with 4 brand new deer. In addition to that, we're also featuring Milo Hanson's deer, the world record typical whitetail, netting 213 1/8 Boone and Crockett points. Along with that t-shirt, we also are featuring a Monster Bucks hat featuring Milo's deer. All of us here at Realtree Outdoors want to thank you for all your support over the years, and we hope you enjoy the Monster Buck 6 video.
The following is a presentation of Realtree Outdoors Productions. Welcome to Realtree's Monster Buck 6, Volume 1, Whitetail Challenge. Now let's join Bill Jordan, David Blanton, and Michael Waddell.
Rooster, when he gets hooked something, oh Jesus, I mean beds break.
Over 30 successful hunts and lots of big bucks. Hi folks, I'm Bill Jordan and welcome to Monster Buck 6, Volume 1. You know, if you've been accustomed to seeing a lot of big bucks in our videos over the years, this year you won't be disappointed. And to share some of those experiences with us, I've got 2 good friends, David Blanton and Michael Waddell. And guys, welcome. And David, we had another good year.
Well, it was an awesome year, Bill, as you mentioned, over 30 hunts. We shot over 220 tapes this year. That's the most by far we've ever shot in our production department. The season started off great. Early season bow hunting was awesome. We hit a little slump there in mid-year. We were going to call the video the curse of El Nino, the warm weather. But you know, we laugh about it, but it really did affect us, and it affected deer movement, as we saw in Iowa and Illinois, and there's not much you can do about it. But we came around. Canada and Texas were unbelievable, and had a great video.
You know, Michael, you got an opportunity to hunt this year, and you know, we hunted in Mexico outside of Canada. We hunted in Mexico as well, but you know, not only you shoot some footage, but you also got in front of the camera as well.
I did get an opportunity to hunt. You know, well, last year, well, I missed one, but it was like 45 yards.
At least.
Jogging through some brush and just a...
He only looked close.
Right, and that was last year. Of course, you know, this year...
And he only looked like he was standing still.
Yeah, it just looked
10
close.
yards.
Yeah, I know, he was, you know, maybe 50, you know, minus about 40 yards. But anyway, but I did get a chance to hunt this year, Bill. Had several opportunities to actually hunt and redeem myself. Got a few good bucks, and I know in this volume here, I took a nice 8-pointer, so just a good year for myself as well as the other part of the, you know, Team Realtree.
Yeah, we had a lot of great people that hunted this year. You know, we had Chipper Jones and Jeff Foxworthy, just to mention a couple, and our usual, some of our pro staff guys. And, you know, I think without a doubt, you know, what I'm most excited about this year's hunts, by starting off slow, we really stayed with it, and we took some of the best deer ever on all of our video series. And David, what's coming up next? I'm ready to take a look.
Well, we're going to go to the early season bow hunting first in Montana along the Milk River, as we've hunted in the past, and it's just typical early season bow hunting. Deer are really hitting the food sources. They're real predictable, and again, we had a lot of success. And then we go to Texas with Michael for an early season bow hunt, and it's just great action.
Well, let's do this. Folks, we've got a lot of hunts for you right now, so let's take a look.
Former All-Pro tight end for the Dallas Cowboys, Jay Novacek relishes the opportunity to catch up on one of many hunting hobbies, bow hunting whitetails. And the Milk River in Montana is a pretty good place to spend some time. This place has proven itself before. As the shadows fade with the setting sun, Jay knows he'll see deer. A couple of days of hunting and fine-tuning the stand position has given Jay plenty of confidence. And sure enough, the big 10-point Jay had seen the first evening appears with a smaller buck. Now guess which one Jay's focusing on? The buck's trail should take him to within 18 yards of Jay and the cameraman. It looks like a good hit, and the buck heads for the thickest brush on the river. Tracking this deer could get tricky. Jay hurries down to pick up blood where he last saw the buck. Even in the darkness, an all-out effort is made to recover the buck. No luck. At dawn the following day, Jay's efforts resume, and through persistence, the buck is recovered later that morning.
And beautiful deer. This is what you call a Milk River buck. We've had great luck out here, saw tons and tons of deer. Love it, absolutely love it.
Great hunt, Jay. Also hunting the Milk River with the Realtree team, renowned bow hunter Bob Folkrod makes his way to the stand early in the afternoon, giving his scent along the ground time to dissipate before the deer really start moving. With the mosquitoes really becoming a pest, Bob spots something to take his mind off the buzzing B-52s. A nice buck. A smaller but similar buck enters the picture. The confusion has now started. Just watch.
Whoa. Okay.
Oh, that wasn't even close, Bob. That's not like you.
Man, you can't turn me off on kind of hot and cold water. You gotta make up your mind. I thought you was on him the whole way. Shoot, don't shoot, don't shoot.
Did anyone see the cameraman shoot for Bob? It's okay, Bob, really. I mean, it happens to the best of us.
That's the right thing to do, though, man. We didn't burn a tag anyway. All we did
Now let's visit with Whitetail Authority Dick Idle for this Realtree Monster Buck profile featuring the Kitesman buck from Wisconsin.
Folks, today I'm doing probably what I enjoy best, and that's following a giant non-typical whitetail. This particular buck happens to be the current number 2 non-typical in the state of Wisconsin. It scores 244 and 7/8. It's exceeded only by the Elmer Gott's head at 245. But even with that score, many people that know a lot about antlers regard this as one of the top 10 greatest non-typicals of all time. This buck pretty much has it all. He's got mass, he's got spread, he's got height, and he's got all the character you could ever ask for. On his circumferences, he's got 5+ inches on all 8 circumferences. On tine length, he's got some points that are almost 15 inches long. His main beams are on the 29 and 6/8 on the right side and 26 and 5/8 on the left side. And he's got all the character that you could ever ask for in a buck. He's got the drop tine, he's got non-typical points. And besides all that, one of the other things that makes this buck just incredibly impressive is his overall typical frame. He has a 212 and 6/8 overall gross typical frame, which puts him right up there with some of the best typicals in the world. Has a 199 net typical frame, which is huge. And all this added together gives him his 244 and 7/8 score. And I think in anybody's book, this is probably one of the greatest non-typicals of all time.
This monster buck hunting tip is brought to you by Fieldline, America's favorite outfitter. Here's Ricky Joe Bishop.
One thing I've learned over the years while deer hunting is you can fool that deer's eyes, you can fool his ears, but you can't fool his nose. A little trick I learned several years ago is taking cornstarch and putting a simple squirt bottle. This will give you a visual on which way the wind's blowing and enable you to set up close to that deer and hopefully getting a cleaner, closer shot. That's your Realtree Outdoors tip of the week.
Thanks, Ricky. Now let's catch up with Michael Waddell on the Timmons Ranch in the hill country of Texas.
You'll see what we got is a big oak mine. It's on top of a ridge, and it's a good bedding area on back to the north of us back in here. And down south of us, there's a good, big, huge oak field down there. And these deer are basically coming from that bedding area, staging up all on these acorn trees and feeding on these acorns and taking advantage of this fence where it's been snipped here. It's an old goat pasture, what this is. And this fence here is built really good, and it's a little higher than your average cattle fence. And so these deer, however they can jump it, they a lot of times take advantage of a crossing like this. And you can see the trail, it is just worn out. And we got our stands back there about 30 yards away. Hopefully we can get a good, easy bow shot and have a good deer come in here. Let's go see what happens.
With his new Realtree Extra Brown blending perfectly, Michael has concealed himself and waits for the action to begin.
Here comes a big deer. Good God. Oh, good God, all the points. He's got too many points. We can't do nothing with him. He's coming right to that fence crossing.
A huge buck appears.
This wind's starting to swirl a little bit. Boy, he's catching whips. He's at the crossing. There he goes. He smells. Dang it.
But the swirling winds befriend the deer, and he's gone.
There he is. That's the one we're looking for right there.
Michael's right. This 8-pointer is mature, so he's fair game. Michael ranges the exact distance.
There he is. There he is, 23 yards.
A perfect hit.
He's down, baby. Last year, I shot and I missed a big 8-pointer, but this year I came back, and he's laying right there. Whew, we got him, man. Son of a gun, look at here, baby. Big old mature Texas whitetail 8-pointer. Man, I'm gonna tell you, we have been seeing the big bucks. We're here in late October on the Timmons Ranch, and it's been unbelievable at the deer we've been seeing. And what we was hunting this evening, there's a lot of acorn trees in here, a lot of oak brush, and there's a grain field down below us, and there's a little spot in the fence that's been clipped that those deer are taking advantage of crossing, coming from this oak brush down, staging up on these acorns and going down into the wheat field. And it's just a perfect transition area to hunt deer, crossing that fence. And he come down and act like you want to cross the fence, and then cut over to the right, started feeding, and offered me just a 23-yard shot. My shot at the crossing was 30 yards, but luckily he gave me a lot easier shot. And man, I'm tickled to get him. You know, last year, if you watched the video, you seen me shoot right under a fine Texas whitetail, big 8-pointer, but this year I brought it up a little bit, and he's laying right here, and I couldn't be any happier.
Michael, I tell you, that was unbelievable how those deer can get over that fence.
I mean, with no effort whatsoever. It surprised me. I know they're athletes, but they just jump it like it's nothing.
You know, I've
other.
seen a lot of deer, you know, go under fence and through them, and you very rarely see a whole lot of deer if they get an opportunity to jump over it, but they had no trouble.
With no effort. And I tell you, that's a great shot. In Texas, you learn to sort of aim a little low on those deer.
You know, if well, that is if they're out, you know, 23 at 10, they don't drop much, but that particular deer dropped a little bit. But you have to aim a little low because, I mean, they'll duck.
Well, you knew you had a great hunt, and our good friend Jay Novacek, what a deer from Montana.
Wow.
You know, over the last couple of years, David, Montana's been one of our favorite stops and proved well for us, but what a great deer for Jay.
A big man killed a big deer.
Yes, he did. You know, he really did. Well, speaking of big deer, we've got a lot more deer to see, and David, how about explaining what's coming up next?
Well, what's coming up next is some very rare footage from Saskatchewan. It's mid-November, no snow on the ground. Ben McDonald, a pitcher for the Cleveland Indians, been with us quite a number of years.
Great guy.
He takes his deer early in the week, and there's no snow, and then the snow's hit, and you took that beautiful 8-pointer.
And was glad to take him. I tell you, that was an unusual big 8-pointer, and Ben took an extremely nice deer once again with us, and we got other hunts as well. What's coming up with
Well,
those hunts?
we're going to go down to Colorado. Greg Tinsley, the editor of Peterson's Hunting Magazines, for some Eastern Plains mule deer hunting, and then on to Idaho, where we're going to hunt with Will Primos, who we're tickled to have as part of the Realtree family now.
Yeah, we really are, and folks, we've got a lot more hunts coming up, so, well, let's don't wait another second. Let's take a look.
With just a skiff of snow on the ground, this is definitely an unusual sight in Saskatchewan in November. But I don't think Ben will wait for lots of snow before he hunts. On the fourth day of the hunt, Ben has a nice, really nice buck come in. He's got to be in the 150-inch class. Ben suspects that something back in the brush has caused this old boy to get a little antsy. Could it be, perhaps, a larger buck? Good night, look at the mass. He's a shooter. Great shot, Ben.
Folks, look at this deer. What a buck. Look at this. Look at the mass on this deer, would you? Wow. Tell you what, he's got pretty good tine length. Got some character points coming off down here at the brows. It's a beautiful buck. Tell you what, this is our fourth day of hunting daylight to dark, 10 hours a day. This is some tough hunting, but when you take a buck like this, it makes it worthwhile. And up till now, we hadn't seen a deer in the middle of the day until this deer showed up and came in at 1 o'clock exactly. We were lucky enough to get a shot on him. I tell you what, this is a beautiful animal. This is why you come to Canada right here.
A great buck, Ben. Well, as Bill mentioned, the snows came the day after Ben took his deer, and things began to look like the Canada everyone's used to.
Oh, what a beautiful afternoon this afternoon. Tell you what we're going to do this afternoon. We hunted a stand this morning, saw a couple of deer. It's about 12:30 right now. We decided to change stands this afternoon and sit the rest of the afternoon. It's a kind of we got all kind of trees around a little field right here. There's been a couple of big deer seen in this field, you know, chasing does. And what we've done, we've got a decoy. We're going to try to put a decoy out there, and hopefully when these deer around the edge of the field, you know, kind of looking in, checking for does, maybe they'll see this decoy and draw them on out. But it's going to be a great afternoon this afternoon. Let's get this decoy out.
For obvious safety reasons, Bill places the safety orange cap on the decoy while he preps the doe for action.
We got a little bit of Tink 69. We got a little canister, and we're gonna put a little bit on it, and wind's kind of blowing back this way. And hopefully this big field, they'll come in and check it. It's gonna be a great afternoon. Well, we're gonna see if old decoy does the trick.
Bill rakes the nearby trees and begins a rattling sequence in hopes of luring in a buck. In the driving snow, Bill catches movement. It's a good buck. He finally decides to respond to the grunt call. Bill's scope is fogged up. He's hit a little far back, but after a couple of hours of intense tracking and luckily a break in the snow falling, Bill recovers the brute. What a deer. Congratulations, Bill.
Folks, we got us a good deer. I mean, a great deer. Look at this. This is, I think, one of the biggest 8-pointers that I've seen. Got great mass down here at the bottom. Got good brow tines, got good G2s, good G3s, and something I couldn't tell, he's got 2 broken off points on this side, but basically I think he's a mainframe 8, but what a great hunt. And I have to say, this hunt definitely had his anxious moments. When this deer came running to the field, I grunted it to a stop, and when I looked through my scope, there's some humidity in the air, and the scope was iced over. And I really couldn't even see anything through it. I'm trying to clean the scope off and get that ice off of it. Threw it up again, and still it wasn't real clear, but it was better, and I was able to get the crosshairs on him and, made a good shot, but what a great deer. This is just another good deer from Northway Outfitters, and, these guys have done a good job, and I am proud to put this one on the wall.
It's time for another monster buck hunting tip. This one brought to you by Walds, leading the way outdoors. Here's Bill as he tells us how to hunt more comfortably in cold weather.
When you're hunting cold weather, you have to have a lot of gear, and it's real important you stay warm while you're on a deer stand. A couple of things we use here on Realtree Outdoors. We got a lot of different products in keeping us warm throughout the day. One of the neatest things is, when you layer up your long underwear, you have to have a good insulated coat and pant, and what we use is the insulated coats and pants from Walls. This is a heavy-duty insulated coat right here. Got a lot of insulation inside. I've got on the matching pants right now. They come up high for us keeping your kidneys warm. Very good, when you're in the field. But some of the other helpful hints is keeping your hands, your head, and your feet warm. And one of the neatest things that I've seen is a product from Icebreaker. This is a hand muff. I got my gloves on right here. I put them inside for us, keeping my hands warm. And they also have what they call a boot blanket. This is one of the neatest things in keeping your feet warm. And how many times have you been on a stand when your feet have been cold? Basically what you do, you walk in with your regular hunting boots. You can unzip this, put your foot in there. I guarantee you for a long sit, it will keep your feet warm. But one of the neatest things to go along with this is hand warmers. We talk so much about hand warmers and, for keeping your feet and your hands warm. This is from Game Tracker. They're the pocket size hand warmer, and they also have another size, a glove size. And basically what you do with these, I've got one open right here. You take it out of the pack. These are charcoal activated hand warmers. You shake them up and you put them in your pack. Stay warm all day. Put them in your boots. Guarantee you keep your feet warm. But when you carry all your gear with you, this is a backpack from Field Line. I put all this stuff in there. Very important you have a backpack to carry all your gear. Keeping your neck warm, this is just a little old neck gaiter. Just slides on, keeps that neck warm. And I also use, on a day like today, I'll use a toboggan, put it over my hat. All that on top of your head, all that on your feet, taking your backpack, I guarantee you, those are some helpful hints that'll help you next time in the field.
Thanks, Bill. This guy look familiar? He's Will Primos of Primos Game Calls, and he's hunting with a black powder rifle in Idaho, and it's less than 10 degrees. We don't think Will's real comfortable with the thermometer. Will has placed his stand in a narrow strip of aspens that afforded him and the camera a good view of the small valley. On the very first afternoon of the hunt, Will spots a buck making his way toward the alfalfa fields in the river bottom. Will has decided to shoot once the deer presents a good, clean, standing, broadside, no wind blowing, perfect opportunity. Sound too easy? Maybe Will's thinking the buck might have a heart attack and fall over. Then reality checks in.
I went over and looked. I didn't need him. And then when I got over there, he was standing right over there, and I jumped him. But the cameraman wants me to think of something funny to say. I can't think of it. No. The next bullet is for you, and you're closer than he was.
I'll take my chances with the way you shoot.
You will take your chances with the way I shoot. We're gonna have a talk about your job security.
Mentally rested and healed, Will presses on the following day.
That's where we jumped 10 Point. 3 days ago. We're still looking for him.
On this day, Will and David have crafted a plan. A light push or drive of the thickets above their stands may move the big 10-pointer jumped from his bed 3 days earlier.
The buck's rutting, and it's gonna be 5 degrees this morning. And we decided to sleep in, stay warm, and come in here about 9 o'clock and put on a little push. David and another crew are on the other side of the draw, and we're hoping we can push these bucks and get them moving through these aspen breaks and willow breaks in here. I know one thing, it's definitely been warmer. It's warmed up to about 15 right now.
Things begin to happen. A fawn busts out of the adjoining tree line.
Buck, on a tree line, good buck, good buck.
Unbelievably, the big buck appears.
Meh, meh.
Oh, great shot, Will.
Good buck. I didn't think I was going to be able to stop him. He was jumping over that stuff and everything. That push worked perfect.
Will,
Dave,
did you get him?
I'm telling you what.
Fantastic.
We can get lucky, can't we?
What
That's
is
a
it? What
beautiful
is
deer.
it?
It's a 10. He's
No.
perfect. Big
That is
body.
unreal. Look at the
I mean-
rack sticking up.
I'm telling you.
Look at the body on him.
He's huge.
When I heard you shoot, I thought that is unreal. That's fantastic.
That's fun when you hear that.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. What a buck. What a buck.
Look at that.
Look at that. That
Isn't it
is
beautiful?
awesome. That is an awesome buck.
That's great.
This has turned out to be an awesome hunt.
Hadn't it?
You know, last night at supper, you told us that it was a perfect situation over here for a push, and you suggested that strongly, I might add.
Well, we've been hunting hard here trying to find this, but we jumped him when we first came in here.
Right?
And he went off back this way, and we found where he was rubbing all those aspen trees, but we could not make it happen.
That is fantastic. I mean, and this little light push just worked great. And when I heard you shoot, I thought that it's just unbelievable feeling.
I knew I missed that 8 point for a reason.
It's been fun, Will. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Congratulations on a beautiful deer.
Really, look at all the aspen up in his horns.
That is wonderful. Fantastic. Great deer.
Great deer. We saw this little 8 point. He's kind of going by us. We grunted at him, turned him. I shot him. Well, I shot at him. And then Kenneth says, say something funny. And I said, there ain't nothing funny to say. I wasn't very happy. But anyway, I'm kind of glad I missed because the man come by. Yee! That is one fat deer.
Greg Tinsley and Robbie Parker have hunted muleys together before with a lot of success, and this hunt would be no different.
Robbie, people are going to look at this and wonder how you ever get close to a big muley out here. It's just flat and open.
It's really flat, but we have a lot of cover. This year's been a little bit, not quite as much cover because we had a real bad snowstorm and it's flattened a lot of weeds out. We still have these milo fields and a lot of cover they can still hide in. So what we do is we do a lot of spotting and stalking there. If we see one running across the field, so we'll watch until he runs down and beds down, and then we'll put a stalk on.
Yeah, just keep an eye on him until he gets into what little cover there is out here.
Yeah.
The storm really knocked the weeds down. Last year there were more CR cover, CRP cover.
A lot taller grass last year when you were out.
Now, how did that storm affect the deer herd? Did you lose many deer? I know you lost 5,000 head of cattle in this area.
Lost a lot of cattle. Not many deer. It didn't bother deer too much. We had a rifle season during that time, and we did pretty good.
So we'll just get a glass on one and watch him go lie down and get a sneak on him.
Yes, sir.
Well, they're rutting now, right?
They're just getting started, it seems like.
Just starting to chase a little bit?
Yeah, they're starting to chase the does a little bit now, and starting a little more activity once there's, you know.
Well, let's go find one. It looks like a hill over there about 6 miles away. Maybe we can get a little bit more vantage out here.
We might be able to. Let's go see what we can see.
Okay.
After covering and glassing lots of wide open country, Greg and Robbie have spotted a huge muley on the horizon. The plan? Stay close until the buck beds down, and then attempt to stalk with very little cover.
How far is he in this mile?
He's about 100 yards out in there, bedded down.
What's our wind looking like? Is it about right? Kind of a crosswind?
Yeah, we got a crosswind here.
I'd sure like to get this big buck.
We got a crosswind here.
I'd sure like to get this big boy.
He's a nice one.
Now you'll let me go like the last 50 yards on my own?
Yeah.
Okay.
Get out there and I'll scrunch down and let you sneak out there this way by yourself there.
So he's even with that post?
Yeah, even with that post right out there. You can just see his antlers moving out there.
And he finally bedded down.
It's been a long time.
Come on. Let's go get him.
Stalks such as this require a good wind, patience, and most of all, luck. Usually, many stalks are needed before the hunter scores. Now this time, Greg beats the odds, but not before an unnerving end. Watch this incredible sequence of events. Greg whistles to get the buck to stand. What more can you say?
Oh my gosh, what a muley. What a muley.
He's a nice one.
Well done.
It's been fun.
What a gorgeous deer. Their horns don't get very dark out here. They don't have a lot to rub on, do they?
Not a whole lot, you know, putting all these weed patches here.
Yeah, all these trees around. It's kind of hard to rub.
There ain't many trees.
No, not very many. And the weeds are knocked flat on that blizzard.
Yeah,
so
we had
it's-
real bad snow and the weeds have really got flattened out this year.
It's a billiard table out here.
Yep.
What a gorgeous buck.
He's a nice one.
How wide do you figure he is?
I'll say about 28 outside spread, probably about 27, 26 inside.
Oh, big deep forks.
Yeah.
A beautiful buck.
How about that for excitement? Now, we head to Saskatchewan for a hunt with David. As we mentioned, Canada was plagued by an unusually warm November and December, and buck movement was minimal at best. So David and outfitter Rob Dunham agreed to conduct a series of drives in some good-looking country. This particular drive is one David would love to do over again. Well, you'll see.
This must be the hill they wanted me to get on to watch this drive. It's unbelievable how warm it is to be Canada in December. I'm just going to take a seat right here on this hill overlooking this bottom. And Rob and the guys, as we mentioned, they're going to be pushing the brush coming this way. Hopefully, maybe we'll catch some deer coming down through this bottom. They could be hauling the mail pretty good when they come through here, so it could get kind of interesting for me because you never know what happens with running deer with a rifle. It'd be kind of interesting, so I'm just going to take a seat. It's a great looking spot, man. A lot of fingers fall off these hillsides, a lot of agriculture on top over there, and fall off this bottom, and I saw a lot of rubs coming through to get across the creek right here. Buck, here comes a buck. Here comes a buck. I can't tell what he is. He's gonna come through that little opening right there. I don't see him yet. There he is, there he is, there he is. He's a good deer. He's coming. He's coming right towards us. He's coming right towards us. He's coming right here. He's coming right at us. Doggone it. Dadgum. Good gracious.
Deer's best friend.
Shoot. That was a nice deer. I can't believe I missed him. Twice. Who shot?
You did.
I didn't shoot. Who shot, really? Yeah. It's hard to shoot a gun when you got both hands around your neck.
You're choking.
Yeah. Dadgum.
What'd you see?
A tremendous 8-pointer. came running right to us, too. I mean, he came down that bottom, y'all pushed him out just perfect.
Must have been at least 500 yards from you for you to miss.
Well, he was 500 yards and running through some thick stuff. I wish. I mean, I'd had more luck with a shotgun. He was so close. He was right there. He came down the bottom and he stopped and he cut, just came straight across right to us, just right to us. And I probably saw him at 60, 70 yards running past us.
Came right out from where Bruce and Mike and Al were pushing right through.
Boy, it's a great way to hunt.
Yeah, it's a good view up there.
Y'all see a lot of deer sign?
All over. You couldn't go 100 yards without rubs or scrapes in there.
There's rubs all down in that bottom. I mean, all along the bottom of this ridge right here, just every other tree's rubbed.
He's not the only critter living there.
This would be a great place to come back and just sit.
Yeah, get up
one
on that
morning.
hill. Be a good deal. Maybe get another chance at it.
Yeah, maybe I could hit one on about the...
Joker.
It was fun though, dadgummit.
This week we got a special treat lined up for you.
You should see this dude run deer.
That's hints on hunting.
Take a child hunting and fishing so they too can enjoy the outdoors.
That's a real tree outdoor. Yeah.
I got it.
First join me in.
You sure got me right on top of them.
You are the man.
Right here.
Go, baby.
Folks, that's a quality buck right there.
I'll take you anytime.
One more time.
No, I'm through. Now, whoa.
Wait a minute, cut.
Wait a minute.
No.
No.
Let's
There's
go. Right, we
no
roll it.
cut
We roll it.
about this thing. You know, I have full edit control over this segment here. You know, he got on you about missing that deer last year with your bow.
That's right. Hell yeah.
And I wasn't there, but somebody was telling me this deer was like 50 yards and missed him with his gun, and scope must have been off.
Probably 48.
48 yards.
Say what?
Oh, Crackerjack right here.
Oh, Crackerjack.
I just tell you this, I'm just glad we had some other meat and some vegetables in camp because we would have starved to death if we was going to take deer meat that week.
Well, but now you can eat berries up there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We'd have definitely been vegetarian that week.
Well, you know, thank goodness in Canada, our two good friends, Charles Stone and Buddy Graham from Northway Outfitters, put Ben and I on some deer, and what outstanding hunts we had up there.
Those are great hunts, and what a lot of people don't realize is Charles and Buddy, the Northway Outfitters, they really take that serious up there. It's a year-round job. They scout, they shed hunt. They know what kind of deer they have on the property, and they keep up with them, and they really put us on deer year in and year out.
You know, we talked about these two deer hunts with Ben and myself. You know, in Volume 2, we got some more hunts from Northway. They're just as big or impressive as the deer that Ben and I took. But, you know, Greg Tinsley, I don't think I've ever had a deer run toward me, and he probably got a little nervous.
That deer was going after Greg.
Oh, he was coming to get him. I promise you that.
You know, I tell you what, that's exciting right there. And speaking of exciting, David, we're going to one of your favorite places in Texas. You know, you took a nice deer down there this year, and Mike, we've already seen his, but we had some outstanding hunts.
Well, some of us had better years in Texas than others.
Oh.
I mean, that was quite a deer you take. We're going to see him in just a minute, but we're also going with Chipper Jones at Atlanta Braves. He takes a great deer, and then our buddy Jeff Foxworthy, and had a blast with him this year. And
you know, that was one of the most, I think, the best times I've ever had. You know, we hunted with our good friends Jimmy and Stuart Perlich at the Perlich Ranch, and kind of like the Northway guys, those guys do their homework. We've had great hunts over there, you know, last several years, and I got lucky.
You did. Well, I don't know if I call it luck, but it's an awesome hunt.
I know one thing, it is Big Daddy.
Yes, it is.
Well, let's do this. We're going to take you on some exciting hunts coming up next. Let's take a look.
Comedian Jeff Foxworthy took some time off from his busy schedule to relax and enjoy a sport picked up as a youngster growing up in Georgia deer hunting. But this isn't Georgia. Jeff and the Realtree team are back at one of their favorite spots, the Perlitz Ranch. Jeff can take a trophy buck as well as a management buck, and today Jeff runs into a good-looking mature 8-pointer.
That's a good 8-pointer right there. That's that management buck we saw last night. That's a good deer. Look at him, he's running that doe. He's running that doe hard. Come on back in here. Inside that bush, come on.
You hit him hard, Jeff.
Yeah, good shot. It's a good shot. He's down. He's down. He did go right back there in that brush. He's down. Yeah. Well, that's a nice deer. That's a nice deer.
He's been through here. Here he is. Here he is, over here. Oh, man. All right. Great, great management deer. Look at that deer. Man, oh, man. Look at that deer. Big, thick mass. You can see where he's been rubbing. He's got all kind of wooden bark through there. Cool brow tines on him. Great deer. He was out there sniffing the doe. He's the last deer out there this morning. He's sniffing that doe, and he made the mistake of turning around and come back and take one more look at her. Man, I might be excited. That's terrific. Great deer.
Also joining Jeff and Bill on the Perlitz was All-Star third baseman Chipper Jones of the Atlanta Braves. The Chipper knows this monster is a keeper. Wow, what a buck. Believe it or not, Chipper had passed this buck up on the first day of the hunt. Not today. Good shot.
Low side up, but I think he's a good one. I think it was a good shot. Yeah, I can hear him crashing around out there. Whew, man. What a trophy bug. All right.
Well, shouldn't be too far, about 100, 150 yards out there, so let's go see what we got. Woo-hoo, son. Man, oh man, oh man. Look at this bruiser. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on his left side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 16 points. That takes the cake right there, folks. You know what they say about patience, it's a virtue. We looked at this deer, saw him for 2 days and then didn't see him all day yesterday. Didn't know if he was gonna come back. But he came ambling in this morning and just presented us with a perfect shot, picture perfect shot. I tell you, Jimmy and Stuart Perlis got themselves one heck of a trophy management program here on the Perlis Ranch, and I've been hunting about 17, 18 years, and this is by far the best hunt I've ever been on. I'm gonna be proud to take this one back to camp and let Bill Jordan sneak a peek at him.
This Monster Bucks hunting tip is brought to you by Federal Ammunition. For that shot of a lifetime, use Federal Ammunition. Let's join Eric Leslie.
Hi folks, I'm Eric Leslie from Federal Ammunition. I've been running a test here that I think you all find real interesting. Let's go down to the target and take a look. What I'm doing here is duplicating a common mistake that I see happen all the time as people are preparing for a hunt. That is, they go to the range, sit down at the bench rest to get ready to sight in, and they get their point of aim and their point of impact. This is where they want to hit. But what the mistake they make sometimes is that they take a different type of ammunition to the range to sight in with than what they're going to actually use in the field. And in this situation, I'm using Federal Premium Trophy Bonded. Here's my point of aim, and here's my point of impact with the Trophy Bonded. Now what I did back at the bench rest is changed to Federal Classic. I changed the bullet style. I'm shooting a high shock bullet up here. I'm shooting a Trophy Bonded in our premium line. And as you can see, the point of aim is the same, but the point of impact is different. Now there's not that much disparity here, but if you were shooting at 200 or 300 or 400 yards, that disparity is going to keep, growing, and you are going to miss that animal. And we owe it to the animal to make sure that we harvest it the most humanely as possible. So you want to make sure, whether you're changing bullet grain weights or bullet styles, doesn't matter. Make sure that you use the same ammunition to sight in with that you're actually going to use in the hunting situation. Hope that's another good tip for a successful hunt.
Thanks, Eric. Good tip. Well, Chipper was big man in camp until Bill, 2 days later, took his biggest buck ever with a bow. Let's take a look. Bill has set up his bow blind in a creek bottom where he'd seen plenty of great bucks in the years past. A handsome 10-pointer ambles into close range, but he's not the buck Bill's after. This is the buck, and he's close. Bill's very patient to wait for the right body angle to be presented by the buck.
Oh, man. Oh, God, got off a great shot. Whew. What a great hunt. I got the big one. What a great deer. That's one of the most exciting hunts I've ever been on. You see all the activity out there. Whew, folks, I gotta just tell you real quick what happened. We saw that deer early this morning, couldn't get a shot at him. Didn't think he'd ever come back, and we had some does come through. Oh, these bugs are really checking for does. His faith would have it, he came back. Stayed out there, we had a lot of deer out there. It was real hard to get drawn on the bow. Finally got drawn back and made a good shot. Now that's what hunting's all about. Whew. I'm really anxious to go see what we got. I think it's gonna be a great deer. Here's the arrow. Here's the arrow right here. There's he should be right up here. I don't think he went far. He should be right up here. There he is right there. There he is. Oh, folks, look at this dandy buck. Look at this great deer. This is absolutely fantastic, and I want you to watch. See how he fell over? All wrapped up in that bush, but look at this deer. Look at this awesome deer. Golly. Let's see if we can get him out. Oh, look at this awesome, awesome deer. Let's get him out so you can take a look. Folks, now this is bow hunting right here. I just got to look. Take a look with me right quick. Look at all the kicker points off this. Mainframe 10, which you can see. Got a sticker point coming out. Got split brows right there. Had another one right here, look like it's been broken off. One on the back. But that, folks, is an awesome South Texas whitetail. What a great, great deer. You know, tell you real quick, I just got to admire him here a second, but tell you real quick, we'd seen this deer early in the week and set up on him, and this was my last morning here. And he came into us and got away without me getting a good shot at him. I didn't want to take a risk of shot. He was behind a little brush to me. Didn't think I'd ever see him again, and look up about a half hour later, I spotted him off in the distance and just kept my fingers crossed, and he came right in. But that is a great South Texas deer.
Great buck, Bill.
Is that deer big enough, Michael?
Well, you know, after he dries, he's going to be pushing Pope and Young.
He may make it.
I tell you what, say what you want, but I was hoping to have my fingers crossed more for Boone and Crockett than Pope and Young. But that's my biggest all-time deer. You know, right at 168 Boone and Crockett points, and very excited about that. But what a great time we had with Chipper and Jeff.
Well, the good thing about all the fun at the Perlis Ranch is there's a lot more of that where it came from on Volume 2. Some more successful hunts from the Perlis Ranch with Chipper and Jeff as well.
Well, you know, I tell you what, wasn't all bad. And, you know, while we're in Texas doing that stretch right there, one of our other favorite places to hunt in Texas, the Encinitas Ranch, hunting with the Mac Burns family. And Encinitas proved once again to be exceptional for us. And, David, what other hunts do we have?
Well, on the Encinitas, Bill and Michael, the deer really responded to horns this year unbelievably. In fact, it had been several years since Larry Washington and I had encountered so many bucks charging into the horns like they did. And also this year, our sweepstakes winner, we did a sweepstakes with Shooting Times magazine, and they got over 1,500 entries for somebody to win a free deer hunt with the Realtree team in Encinitas. And Frank McGowan from Tennessee won, and he's a great guy, killed a fantastic deer. It's a great hunt, Had a lot of fun, and then we're going to the Tecomate Ranch with Gary Schwartz.
Another great ranch.
Ooh, yeah, Water Ranch.
Water Ranch, and then on to Mexico with our good buddy from right here in Columbus.
That's right, old Joe Drake. Went down to
I
Mexico.
don't know how Joe always does it, but every time he goes on a deer hunt with us, he always takes a nice deer. And, you know, in Mexico, which we enjoy hunting Mexico as well for large whitetails. But, you know, what a great hunt we have from Encinitas, and like you said, from the Tecomate, and also with Joe in Mexico. And what I want to do right now, let's take a look at all these hunts.
Talk about the most ideal morning to rattle. We've had a cold front come through, there's another one on the way, temperatures are on the way up, and there's a lot of fog. A lot of times the best time to rattle a big buck is right after a cold front's come through, and especially in South Texas when you have foggy conditions like this. There's no saying that the big bucks like to walk in wet sand, and it seems like they do. The area that we're going to hunt in, we've scouted a little bit in the past. We found a bunch of rubs and some scrapes, and we've even rattled here once or twice in the past and rattled up some pretty good kind of deer. Got a great feeling about this place. I love rattling in the fog because they're going to be right in on top of us. So ease over here and see if we can find a place to sit down.
Now, old Larry has rattled in plenty of bucks for the Realtree cameras. So when he says it may be good, hold on to your hat.
Got one rubbing on a trail there. That's usually a pretty good indication that it might be a good buck coming in to fight.
Larry hears a buck snort wheeze, signaling a dominant buck has entered the scene. Larry challenges him with a snort wheeze of his own.
There he is. He's coming in. He's coming in right there behind those cactus. Oh, he is a good one. He's outside of his ears. Good dead boy. Can't quite get a shot at him right there, though.
He's a good 10-pointer.
Oh, he's not right down somebody. There he is. There he is. All he sees is his neck. Oh, he's not right down somebody. There he is. There he is. All he sees is his neck.
Wow.
Oh, boy. Oh, man, can you believe this deer? I'll tell you what, this rattling, when it works, you talk about a mystical, magical morning, fog all around, these bucks were just running in on top of us. We hadn't even gotten started. I was rubbing the antlers on a bush, and immediately there was a buck right in front of us. I mean, just a beautiful 8-point. Rattled up several others, and they were all around us, and then finally I heard a buck. I could hear him out here in the brush. He was hooking the brush, threatening. We started grunting a little bit, started rubbing the antlers a little bit more than we normally would have. Hit the antlers together just a little bit, and there I could see him coming. He got behind some brush. Couldn't see him, and finally all I could see was the tips of his antlers come out from behind that brush, and I knew he was a good deer. When it works, it works. There's nothing quite like rattling bucks in South Texas. It works elsewhere, but no place does it work any better than right down in this old brush country. Beautiful deer on the Encinitas Ranch.
The Encinitas Ranch was host to the winner of the Shooting Time Sweepstakes. This lucky fellow was Frank McGowan of Memphis, Tennessee. And Frank saw more deer in one day at the Encinitas than he'd seen in a year of hunting at home.
Hey, there's that deer again. That's him.
This uniquely racked buck had teased Frank on the very first day of the hunt and had not allowed Frank a shot. Today, Frank would score on his best buck ever and feed a camp full of hunters. Now, we're not sure which he enjoyed the most.
They just come back down this way. Oh, she's turning back. No, wait, he's running her. He's gonna run her back down this way. The doe's still feeding. If she'll stay on the road. You come this way, she'll bring him right in. Okay, they're still coming. He's about to run her again. There he goes. That's the shot I want. Oh, man. It's a good hit. He's going. Oh, man, he's down. He's down. It's a good shot. Oh, man. That's a beautiful deer. He's down.
Oh, wow, here he is.
Oh, man. What an awesome deer. Wow. What a beautiful deer. Man. Look at the mass to this deer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 points. Well, we watched this deer a long time. He just would never give us a shot. He finally came in and gave us a shot that we needed. What a beautiful South Texas buck.
Here's another monster buck hunting tip, sponsored by Rocky Shoes and Boots. The real deal since 1932. Here's Larry Weishuhn.
There's several key ingredients to rattling up bucks. Number one, you have to have a set of rattling horns. They can be synthetic, such as these, or even natural horns. Either one works extremely well. You have to hunt where bucks exist. And the more bucks there are, the greater the chances are that the bucks are going to respond, because you're going to catch one or more of those bucks in that aggressive mood, and that's what they have to be in. Some days you can go out and you can rattle and nothing will show up. Similar circumstances the next day, you go out, you hit the horns together, and they're all over on top of you. The only difference is those bucks are in a little bit different kind of attitude. They're become more aggressive, so they're coming into the fight. Why they come in, we're not sure. And I really don't care whether they're coming in for a fight or because they're curious or because they're looking for a doe. I just know that it works. And that's the key to it, is you've got to continue trying. Even if you're hunting an area where in the past you've not rattled up a buck, don't give up on horn rattling. Try it at different times of the day. Try different techniques. Try rattling very timidly. Try rattling very aggressively. And also, you might just try rattling for a long period of time. Don't just rattle for 10 or 15 seconds, put them aside. Rattle for as long as a minute, because when really big bucks fight, they can fight. I've watched them fight for over 8 hours with their heads together without being locked. Be persistent in your rattling. And if you're going to do that and get out and hunt all day long, your chances of rattling up a good buck are going to be a whole lot better.
Now, let's join guide Glenn Havelka and David as they make their way to the back corner of the Encinitas and a really thick creek bottom where Glenn has built a ground blind on a slight mound that would give the two an excellent vantage point.
This way.
This is awesome.
Oh
here,
yeah,
man.
I got a good view.
Man, you got a lot of back cover right behind us.
Oh yeah. And these trunks help too.
Well,
The
this
deer
is
are gonna be
great.
coming out right into there.
I'm gonna go ahead and put on my head net. I tell you, deer ought to start moving in about 30 minutes. Glenn, there's a buck down there, down the road. I can't tell much about him. He looks like a...
The first buck to show this afternoon is a great-looking 11-pointer. But he's young, and Glenn has seen a bigger buck in the area.
6 on the right and 5 on the left.
Well, he's got a good rank, but he's not very old, I don't
No,
think.
he's probably 3.5. He's got nice potential. He's got 6 coming off the main beam on one side.
I don't see him now.
He went behind that bush. That doe ought to come out any time, but we saw him. We were to the left.
There she comes. He's there.
Yeah, there she is.
There she comes.
Suddenly, a hot doe burst into the clearing, and right on her tail is the buck they're after. They think.
That's a good deer. Oh, look at him, let's go. Good night, what a buck.
Oh, yeah. He looks real nice. That's the one I've been seeing in here.
Boy, he's a nice deer.
He looks like it.
Good gracious. He's a big bodied buck, too.
Oh, yeah. He's probably the dominant deer in here.
Man, he's awesome. We may have to take him, Glenn. We may have to take him. He's a good buck.
Yeah, I think he'll score in the high 130s, maybe 140. He's a nice deer.
I don't see him now. He's back in that behind that green bush. Yeah. He's running that buck back into the thicket.
Yeah.
I'd say he's ruling the roost around here.
Oh, yeah. He'll come back out.
Good Lord, he's a good deer.
There's a couple of nice bucks coming in here, but he's usually the first one in.
If he comes back out, puts on a pretty good show, we may just have to take him.
Okay.
Man, what a buck.
Buck's gonna come out.
I think we gotta take him, Glenn. Man, he's a nice buck.
Go ahead, take him.
Pop his.
It sounds like David's seen enough.
All right, when he comes out, you tell me what you think, okay?
Okay. He's 10 points. He's got nice G2s, browns, and good main beams. Yeah. Go ahead and take him.
He's good. What do you think?
Nice deer.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
He's turning, bro.
Okay.
He's gonna do it.
He's in the clue.
Ready?
I'm ready. You hit him. You got him. You got him. He's hit. Good shot.
He's dead.
Yeah, I saw it. I guess he didn't deflect.
Boy, that's a nice deer, too.
My legs are asleep.
That is a nice deer. All right. Man, what a deer. Man. What do you think?
Pretty good.
That deer, boy, you had them deer figured out, didn't you?
Yeah.
I mean,
Just like clockwork. I need a deer this evening.
golly. Wow, that's a good deer. I mean, that's a great deer. Glenn had this deer figured out. He'd been in here and had him pattern, coming in here feeding. He came out and we were going to take him earlier when he was scraping. Glenn throws up this about the sunflowers deflecting part of the bullet, which is true. But golly, that put enough doubt in my mind. And then he walks off like he just saw.
Should have stayed quiet.
That's awesome. That's a good deer, isn't it?
Oh yeah, let's go check.
Let's
him
go
out.
see. think he went right in here. Here he is. There he is. All right. All right, come in.
All right.
Good job, Glenn.
Look at that.
Man, Glenn, what a buck. Thanks, that bunch.
Congratulations.
Boy, he's a good deer. He's just fantastic.
Shooting there for a second, we had some sunflowers in the way, and we thought the bullet would deflect off the stems, but I guess not. We proved that right.
Well, you know, we had our minds on taking him out there when he was scraping, and it was just awesome footage, and we debated, and finally, I said, Glenn, we need to take this deer for the video, and he walked out into the thicket. I didn't know if he was going to come back or not, but he did come back in and just turned out perfect. He's got some great time length.
Dark, nice deer.
Fantastic deer. Wonderful. The Encinitas Ranch has done it again. Wonderful buck.
Now let's take a look at this Realtree monster buck profile on the Adan Alvarez buck taken this past season in Texas. The Alvarez buck is the largest buck harvested in Texas in almost 30 years.
My name's Adan Alvarez. I'm a 5th generation cowboy on the King Ranch. I have enjoyed the sport of hunting and fishing here on the ranch all my life. On November 13th of 1997, I went out on an evening hunt and I saw this huge buck at about 700 yards. I wasn't able to take a shot because he was too far. But all that stayed in my mind throughout the season was his time length and his long kicker off his G2 on his left side. On January 16th of 1998, my brother-in-law and I went out on a hunt. We went out that morning to go hunt for some turkeys in that same particular area. And as we were seeing some turkeys down the road, I heard some ducks take a wing off the water's edge by a nearby lake, which got my attention. When I turned over there, I saw walking broadside was this big old monster. I told my brother-in-law, look. He goes, what is it, a big gobbler? I go, no, look, it's a big monster, big deer. He looked and was astonished. I took aim, and he disappeared to the thick wisatch, and then he reappeared, took aim again, and fired. As I saw the deer drop, I knew I had got a good shot at him. He was down on the ground. As we approached the deer, he was bigger than what I suspected. It has 13 scoreable points on the left and 13 scoreable points on the right. His inside spread is 19 6/8. He carries 5-inch circumferences all the way through. He scores 246 and he nets 239 5/8. Come to find out that this deer has been the biggest deer harvested in Texas since 1966. It was an exciting hunt, once in a lifetime buck. I'm having a lot of fun with it.
The Tecomate Ranch in South Texas is growing some incredible deer, as you're about to see on this hunt with David Whitley. David has hunted a particular buck nicknamed Little Joe for a few years, and as luck would have it, Little Joe waited for the Realtree cameras to make his appearance for David. David is set up to watch down this sendero that deer are already filtering into. This is a chance David has waited on for some time, and he is not about to let him get away. Great shot.
Woo! What a shot! Oh man, what a buck. Did you look at this?
If this is Little Joe, boy, wouldn't you hate to see Big Joe?
This is a deer that we've seen for the past 3 years. Every year we've passed him up, hoping he's going to get better the next year, and sure enough, I think we did the right thing. He must be about 6.5. He's eaten lab all summer, and he has turned into a great buck. I'm so happy that we got him.
And speaking of Joes, this one of the Drake variety has made many appearances on the Monster Bucks videos, but this is his first visit to Old Mexico. And it's not unlike Joe to hold off until the camera's gotten some great footage.
We're going to film from.
We've got a lake behind us that they come in and water just about every evening. And first thing in the morning, they'll be here also. But there's a lot of deer activity in here. They're rutting pretty hard, so what we're going to do is kind of make a little circle through here, let you kind of see what it looks like, and then we're going to go over and get the tripods. I think it's going to be a good afternoon. Let's go see what it looks like.
Nice big brow tines, kind of palmated, real thick mass at the base. Just a beautiful deer. You can tell he's a mature deer with the Roman nose, big thick neck.
Congratulations, Mr. Drake.
We got him right here the last 20 minutes of the hunt. I'm talking about the last 20 minutes. We're losing the sunlight. We got to get on an airplane in about 2 hours. But we held off for the big one. But I tell you what, this made my day right here. We hunted all week hard. We had some terrible weather. Anywhere from 40-mile-an-hour winds to rain to fog, just everything that could go wrong went wrong. Seen some nice deer after too late to film them, but this one come in here early enough. We got a great hunt. He come in here and tore a tree up. He come in chasing does. He did just about everything you could ask him to do. He's just a beautiful buck. I'm proud to get him.
Well, guys, now that was 5 exciting hunts right there, and Michael, our guy over there, kind of redeemed himself a little bit earlier. Oh,
Crackerjack, that's his nickname this year.
Well, that right there shows you that I missed the deer in Canada on purpose.
Oh, man.
You know, I'm going to kind of dispute that right there, because didn't you catch him trying to hide that tape so we couldn't put it in the video?
Well, he had a small fire burning back there in our video library, and he just said his hands was cold, but he had a tape in his back pockets.
That's catch and release. Canada, yeah.
Well, I tell you what, regardless, that was a great hunt. And Encinitas, you know, always proves well for us. And, you know, what great hunts we had at the Tecomate and also in Mexico with Joe Drake. And Joe took a nice deer.
Joe took a great deer. And Frank McGowan, the sweepstakes winner, could you ask for a nicer guy than that?
You know, I tell you what, I think that's what's really nice. You know, we travel all over the country and we meet a lot of people who are in camp with us on our hunting places. And to have somebody like Frank in camp with us is kind of a neat deal for us. You know, he was saying how much he enjoyed being with us. We too equally enjoy being with him. And, you know, we always like to encourage people when we do have a sweepstakes, send them in, because somebody's got to win and go on these hunts.
That's right. And if folks, if they thought Volume 1 was good, what do they see Volume 2? Really?
You know, I tell you, we've got over 16, 17 more exciting hunts on Volume 2. And, And folks, that's one thing, you know, wherever we get the opportunity to hunt, you can hunt these same places, and we're going to have the names and telephone numbers of all the places we hunted in Volume 1 and on Volume 2 at the end of the videos. And we want to thank you personally for joining us. We have a great time filming the Monster Bucks videos. And as I always say, when you have an opportunity, take a child hunting and fishing so they too can enjoy the outdoors. For David Blanton and Michael Waddell, I'm Bill Jordan, and we hope to see you next time, especially on Monster Buck 6 Volume 2, for more exciting videos from Realtree Outdoor Productions.
What you call Milk River buck. We've had great luck out here, saw tons and tons of deer. Love it, absolutely love it.
I just got to take a look at this deer. A basic 10-point frame. I'd seen him earlier this morning. I'll get to that story in a minute. A basic 10-point frame.
He's in there, offered me a good shot. Instead of crossing over, he come on, fed up to our right, and gave me a 23-yard shot. And man, it was just awesome. I couldn't be any happier.
What a muley. Well done. What a gorgeous deer.
You know, they're big on hunting all day. I bet this deer came in at 1 o'clock following these does. We were lucky enough to get a shot at him.
Off of it, threw it up again, and still it wasn't real clear, but it was better, and I was able to get the crosshairs on him and made a good shot. But what a great deer.
And I have no idea that deer is going to come from that direction. It's beautiful.
Hunt, he come in here and tore a tree up. He come in chasing does. He did just about everything you could ask him to do. He's just a beautiful buck. I'm proud to get him.
Came up and did a lip curl and started out there, and he made the mistake of coming a few steps back in. Boy, I am tickled to death. This is a great Texas whitetail here.
Fantastic deer. Wonderful. The Encinitas Ranch, done it again. Wonderful buck.
That's a quality buck right there. Tell you what, Jimmy and Stuart Perlitz got themselves one heck of a trophy management program here at the Perlitz Ranch in Texas.
When it works, it works. There's nothing quite like rattling bucks in South Texas. It works elsewhere, but no place has worked any better than right down this whole brush country.
Look at the mast of that deer. Oh, man. What a beautiful deer.
Shoot. That was a nice deer. I can't believe I missed it. Twice.
A lot of brush, thick brush back in here, as you can see.
For some great hunting in northeastern Montana, contact Donnie Lynn at 406-654-2249.
Getting ready for the rut. Mercy. Beautiful, beautiful deer. Great.
Look at all the kicker points off this. Man.
The Perlitz Ranch. To check it out, call Bill Whitfield at area code 210-494-6421.
One on the back, but that, folks, is
And I have no idea that deer is going to come from that.
Give Idaho a try. Call Gwen or Shane McAfee of Castle Creek Outfitters at 208-756-2548.
Look at this. This is,
The guys at Northway Outfitters in Saskatchewan keep producing huge bucks. Give them a call at 306-937-3017.
something I couldn't tell. He's got two broken off horns.
To hunt eastern plains, Colorado for muleys and whitetails, contact R&J Outfitters at 719-336-5973. For more great Canadian whitetails, visit with Rob Dunham at 403-875-2711.
It was fun, though.
I'm gonna tell you, we're down here on the Timmins Ranch, just out of Brownwood, Texas, and it's been unbelievable at the deer we've been seeing.
To hunt quality deer at the Timmins Ranch, contact Bill Whitfield at 210-494-6421.
And I tell you, I couldn't be happier to get one of them.
Man, Glenn, what a buck. Thanks, that bunch.
Congratulations.
Mac Burns and his family do a great job on the Encinitas Ranch. For a quality experience, call 800-222-3824. For information on how to grow bigger bucks under the Tecomate food plot system, call Tecomate Seed Company at 1-800-332-4054.
Really good on the water.
Seen some nice deer after too late to film them.
Give Old Mexico a try. Give the folks at Cabela's Outdoor Adventures a ring at 1-800-346-8747.
He's just a beautiful buck. I'm proud to get him.
This has been a Realtree Outdoor production.